Hello, and this is probably going to be a little bit longer than the 2 minutes that we had at the remembrance, but and I'm sorry I couldn't make it, but it's couldn't do it. So, and first of all, I want to say sorry and my condolences to Lisa and all the rest of the family. This is not easy. And the one thing that I think that I want to remember is the fact that when I heard that Jeremy died was when I was trying to send him a meme and it wasn't coming through, and then Mark told me, Mark Marino, and then Lisa later. And there's a quote that came to my mind is that my my heart felt like coleslaw. And somebody said that's exactly what Jeremy would have said. And I think that's an interesting thing to say is that Jeremy Hight was one of my best friends. We talked every other day, and the other thing is that before him is that um we spoke a great deal with another fallen friend, Damon Baker, which makes this even harder. I think the one thing that I really was impressed about with Jeremy was the fact that he was so devoted to what he did. He stayed at his post. He would not leave his gun turret, even all the way. And in some ways I think I agree with Talon Mehmet in that he was probably one of the most adept people in considering internet culture that I ever knew through its the abjectness and banality of his constant stream of memes. But the thing is that also the other matter is when we were talking, there was one point where either I'd get unfriended and then refriended, or he got put in Facebook jail and was telling me something about that. And in that way, he was kind of, in my opinion, a little bit between Edward Hopper and Ernest Hemingway. In other words, someone who was uh, almost ready to take on anything in a fight, but epitomized kind of the ennui of the American cultural landscape. And he did this in his literature. The things I'm reviewing now are things like The Ghost in You and his latest one, and especially the story Salt that I'm trying to do a project from. Um, the other thing that really impressed me of with Jeremy is that even though sometimes he just rail at things, um, he had these marvelous open office hours where you just come by and just chew the fat and so on. And in that way, I think that in many ways he had such a generosity of character, for all his pugnacity. The other thing is that online, with when the listservs were running, he was there. He was always there. And I think that's how we became friends, is the fact that I was always there and he was always there. And we were interested in things like spatial narrative and geolocative art and these matters. And so naturally when there was a conference, it was basically a lot of times it was me, Jeremy, Damon, and sometimes Eric Zepka. And Sometimes I think Jason Nelson would be there as well. But what an interesting milieu to inhabit. And now every day or every other day, I just want to um, DM and say, hey, what trouble, are you in today? Or, it's like, you know, how does how does I suck today? and and in a way, we didn't mean it, but now we sort of do. Um, so my best to Jeremy and our comrades who have fallen along the way. And my heart does feel like coleslaw. And he called me his brother, and I believe it. And I'll miss him. So thank you. And we'll see you sometime in the future.